What's up, guys? I'm Nick Steiner. This is Kelsey Bennett, and welcome to an all-new episode of Coffee and Cards, giving you guys a chance to know some of the tour players out there and PGA professionals. Today, we're at Woodlands Golf Club, my home track, and the weather's not so great.
It's interesting.
I think we'll get through it, though. What do you think?
I think so.
Oh, let's see what we can do. Let's go. All right, Kelsey, the whole point of the show is, again, to give everybody a chance to know you. Where did your golfing journey kind of start, and what kept you going?
So it sort of started, I was about 8. My grandparents played golf, so my mum and dad don't play golf. And yeah, my nan and granddad used to look after me after school, and yeah, we ended up taking myself and my brother down to the golf course, and we used to smack golf balls around. My nan had property too, so we used to hit golf balls out there. Yeah, nice. Now, was there ever a little bit of friendly competition between you and your brother? Or? Yeah, a little bit, sort of. He wasn't really that into it, so he just wanted to hit it as hard and far, as he could. So ended up, just doing my own thing.
Now
oh my lord! Get out!
Hopefully not sting anyone. It's back.
Get out.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. Now it's gone. All right, the bee's gone, folks. Kelsey's safe. We can continue the episode. Maybe not. Is it gone?
It's coming back. All right. Now we're good.
All right, we're good. This is going to make for a great reel. So with that, you started you kind of got that, you're out of your family's property. Did you really just know right away, I love this, and that journey kind of kept going on? When did it maybe start to get to where you got lessons or picked the game up a little bit more? So I got my handicap when I was about 12. I genuinely just enjoyed playing all sports. Yep. I played a bit of anything and everything I could get my hands on. And then got my handicap when I was 12, played a bit here and there, did quite well in all the Stableford comps and got my handicap a bit lower. I was 14 and I managed to pick up a coach and sort of just continued it from there. And then my mum and nan were like, you've got to pick one because we can't afford to send you to all of the sports. So, ended up just picking golf and that was it. Stuck with it. Yeah. And that's the rest of the story. And you can only connect the dots looking backwards, right?
Now we're here today. So.
Now we're here today. We're at the par 3 today. It's set up at 122 meters. Let's see what club you're going to pick to go at this with a bit of wind that we got. All right.
Fairly downwind.
Had a little bit of a look at the hole, downwind. What are we thinking?
I think a little 9-iron. See how we go. First swing of the day.
All right.
Be interesting. Those planes are scaring me.
If you guys can see up here, Woodlands is directly below one of the busiest airports in all of Australia, actually. We can pump up some stats when we show it. But there'll be a few coming over today, and we might get some sketchy clips. So here we got 122 to the pin. Just taking the 9. Wind is swirling, so really not too sure what we're going to get.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. Hopefully it's a little down breeze because I'm going to need all of this 9-iron.
You got this. Oh, straight up the middle. Flushed it. Yep. It's
gonna roll down. Made it.
Get left. Right.
I'll take that.
Coming down towards the pin. Nice.
Yeah.
Great shot, Kelsey.
Local knowledge without being a local.
Great shot.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So leading on from what we were talking about here, you got a little bit older, you got the handicap, you're kicking some ass in Stableford, and things start to become more serious and you might start looking at becoming a pro. What did that look like?
I was probably late teens. I was just, enjoying the amateur side of things. I had a fairly decent amateur career. I think the lowest I got was 66 in the world. So I was pretty happy with that. Did really well in a few of the overseas amateur events. And then, I knew I was going to turn pro at some stage, probably, late teens. And then I ended up turning pro at the end of 2022.
Yeah, so. Nice. So not too long ago.
Yeah, so not too long at all.
And then for you, you're kind of that interesting generation of players that was during COVID as well, too, right? So you didn't get to play a whole lot of tournaments. What really led into, it's time to make this decision now instead of just staying maybe an amateur a little bit longer? Yeah,
for sure. Well, I actually ended up thinking, all right, I'm going to go to European Q school. So I ended up going there, and I said to my coach and my caddy and my family, if I get through the pre-qualifying and get into the final stage, I'll turn professional, and that's what I did. And unfortunately, I didn't play too well in the final stage, but it's obviously been a great decision. So
yeah,
you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. Now we got to start with this birdie putt you got here.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Let's do it. All right. So as you're approaching a green, I know a lot of people, you want to start to look maybe at different angles or what you got going on. What do you see here, and what are you thinking just as you're walking up?
Well, obviously, for starters, it's obviously going to be a downhill putt. You can see the holes actually sitting on a bit of an angle that way. The flag's sticking out more to the right. And then, yeah, it's just obviously going off the pace and just work on it from there. I just like to look at sort of the slopes from a distance as well as you're walking up to it.
Now, is there a big difference that even from maybe your home track of St. Michael's, which we'll definitely touch on, but when you come down to Melbourne, that you approach the golf course or that you're thinking?
Yeah, obviously the greens are a lot firmer and faster. So, yeah, Melbourne greens are always amazing, so can't complain about them. But yeah, like they are a bit similar to Sydney greens, but yeah, they are always a bit firmer and faster. So
well, I just played yesterday, and I'll give you the tip. They're not that quick here.
Not that quick
right now. They probably need a
perfect. So I'll actually do a bit of aim point. I'm still sort of getting a bit used to it and working on what I can do. But yeah, I just sort of do a basic idea of aim point for now.
Not bad, not
Ooh.
bad.
Not bad. Broke more than I thought. Let's see if we can finish it off. Nice little par.
You got this.
Nice.
Overseas, you've had some trips.
Yes, I have.
What's been your favorite?
Favorite would probably be played Chambers Bay in Seattle.
Nice.
I love that place.
Nice.
I just thought it was gorgeous. I had a great, pretty decent week there. I actually qualified at one of the local qualifiers in the US to get there as an amateur. And then, I loved it. I had really unusual host family that week. So
yeah,
I think that made it a bit more interesting.
And what was unusual about this family?
Oh, they were very, very lovely people, but they just, I don't think they ever had too many guests.
Okay.
Just the real basic things that everyone knows.
Yeah.
They were really explaining it in
Okay. So you didn't pick up your stuff around the house and things like that?
Yeah. Correct.
You didn't do your dishes or?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Par 4. Tough hole right here.
Yeah,
you got some big decisions. You got bunkers out to the left, about 2 to 220. You got the trees on the right. Driver is something that some people do pull, and this one, I don't know if you necessarily do that. You leave yourself short of the bunkers, you're probably going to be 180, 170 out. Okay. So some decisions to make.
I mean, just got to hit drive it, right?
Let's
give it a go.
Lined up. Big dog in hand. I'd normally be thinking 2 or 3 iron, but she's going for it.
It's a little down breeze, so I'm hoping to land down the fairway and get past the bunkers. See how we go.
Oh, flushed.
Stay left.
Just got to get by the tree.
Oh, yeah?
And that is absolutely perfect.
Look at that.
That's what separates little amateurs like me and the pros. Great shot.
Thank you.
So a little bit of travel in the U.S. Where else have you been?
So last year I did through Europe. So I was on the secondary tour in Europe. So, yeah, I've been to a few of those countries, which is really nice.
Yeah. And did you find language barriers, booking accommodation, travel more difficult maybe than you thought? Probably very easy in the US, obviously, but
yeah.
Some of those European countries, anything stand out from that experience?
Yeah, obviously the language barrier is a massive part of it. I actually made a fair few friends on the tour, which were from Europe, so they could speak a bit of the each different country sort of language, sort of briefly, but I mean, it's pretty rare that you don't find someone that can actually speak English. Yeah. So, yeah, it wasn't too tricky. It was just more like just a few random things that you just like, oh, this is
nowadays
hard.
with Google Translate, things like that, like it makes it so really easy. And then I mean, all the things they're coming out with, even if you point your phone at signs or menus, and it's making those sort of experiences a lot easier. And for those out there that haven't traveled, it changes your life. I mean, it absolutely does. And look, good on you. That's pretty cool. Hey.
Yeah, that would have been the biggest thing in the shopping centers, like just looking for what milk was what and what butter was what. You're trying to like translate to see.
Great drive.
Thank you.
This is huge. We're going to show you guys this little window she got through. Play with some of the pennant players and, the better players here. And quite honestly, this is one of the best drives I've seen here, probably in the last year that I've been playing here. So
I think it pays off that you don't know the hole. You know, when you play the hole for the first time, you don't know the actual danger. So you get out there and
maybe now when you're looking back at it, what do you think?
It's pretty tight. Yeah, I probably wouldn't need a driver here again.
With your travel schedule, Europe, US, what's the plan for this year?
So I'm heading back to Europe this year. So I went back to Q school in Morocco in December, and unfortunately got quite sick. I had a really bad cold, and I played pretty average the first 2 rounds, and then ended up doing well in the last 2 rounds, but not well enough to get inside that top 60 for the 5th round. So I'm going to go back and do the secondary tour in Europe, and they've actually got 1 extra card. So it'll be top 7 this year, not 6. That'll get a full European Tour card for next year. So that's the goal.
Yeah, nice. So if that happens, you get that. Does it happen to where, you're traveling with the other, girls from here? Or do most of the countries tend to congregate or stay together once you get on tours like that? Or
a little bit. I did quite a lot of travel with Crystal Blum because she's obviously done it for a few years. So when I first went over last year, we did a lot of travel together, which was really, really helpful.
Yeah, nice.
And then, as I said, I met a fair few other girls through it. And towards the end of the year, stayed with a few of the different girls. And I think at the start of next year, I'll stay with some of the, one of the Spanish girls and the Swedish girls travel together. So I'm going to stay with them.
Yeah, cool. And you've made a fair few friends on the tour and stuff like that already?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nice. I mean, obviously the Aussie tour is fantastic because everyone knows everyone. But definitely made a lot more friends over in Europe. So I've got plenty of places to stay, which is nice.
And Crystal's also a fan of Back to Basics. She's been using the mirror for a while. So hopefully in the future we get her on here as well. And
for sure.
Look forward to having more of you guys come out and see what you guys can do. And right now it looks like we got, what do you think, a chip, a putt? What do we look at?
Definitely a putt from there.
Definitely a putt.
Yeah.
All right, let's see it.
Wasn't too bad after all.
No, it wasn't actually. I mean, again, you're straight at the pin. It's just, even as we were driving up here, the winds died and then it's just gone back to blowing a gale.
Yeah, it's very gusty all over the place. So it's going to break a fair bit, this one.
How long have you been using Aim Point?
Since about July last year, so not too long. I actually was in the UK and went to, I think it was Woodlands Golf Club, and we ended up, my coach and Harrison Crowe were there, and we met up with Jamie Donaldson, and we went through like a 2-hour course. It was unbelievable. Yeah, nice. So eye-opening. It was fantastic.
Didn't inspire you to hit it over the pub either, or what?
I've seen that video plenty of times and plenty of mixed messages about it, but I think it's awesome. It was so cool. It was good to see. I'm glad that was into the wind. That had some speed.
That one had a bit more speed. Another par, folks. Great job.
Thanks.
What putter are you currently using?
I have the Phantom 9.5, so the Circle T.
And how long have you been using that?
Pretty much about 12 months now. So I got it in America when I was over there 2 years ago. I actually went to the Scotty factory and met Scotty. That was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and walked out with 2 putters. So I was very, very grateful for that. It's pretty
Everybody
cool.
loves the Circle T.
They do, yeah. I think it's a good little flex.
What kind of little head cover we got here?
Just the little red one to match it.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, pretty good.
We love our putters at Back to Basics.
Yes, definitely.
Lots of traveling. Becoming a pro is pretty crazy, hey?
It is, yeah. It's been full on.
How are you dealing with it?
Pretty good. I mean, I've got a great team and support crew around me, so that definitely makes the world of difference.
Yeah, nice. Good chance to get home and see your family, but you're also going to be off again.
Yeah.
how long do you think you'll be gone for? Just kind of, it's no idea, right?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I've got the 2 LET events here in Australia, which will be New South Wales Open and Bombville Women's Classic. So I'll play those 2. And obviously, depending on those, will determine, you know, how many access events I play and how many LET events I play.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So that support crew, you're traveling, you're all over the world, but nowadays in technology, how are you keeping in contact with your coach?
So we use OnForm, and we send plenty of videos through that, so he can do some voiceovers and things and reply to the messages, and he can do like comparisons with other swings and things like that as well. Yeah, so nice. we use that.
Who is your coach?
John Sohan at St. Michael's.
Yeah, nice. Okay, we'll make sure to give him some love on the channel as well too.
Yeah, John's a legend.
Has he seen the mirror or had a chance to use the mirror? Is he a fan of mirrors? Some coaches are, some coaches aren't.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big fan of the mirror. We do a fair bit of work through that. So yeah, it's
nice, good. Cool. And with your putting, what are some of the things? Is that what you're working on at the moment, or is it other parts of your game?
Working a fair bit on the swing at the moment. It's actually at a pretty good spot currently. So yeah, obviously we do a fair bit of work on the swing, but he always drills me to do as much short game practice as possible. Yeah,
well, that's the big part, right? Even for amateurs, it's a one thing at the end of the day, that with Back to Basics in the channel, it's, you know, it might not be hitting bombs in the most sexiest thing, but at the end of the day, it does make the biggest difference on your score by far. When you're putting, you know, anywhere from high 20s to low 30s, it makes a big difference to your score right away, especially when it comes down to these guys. So
yes,
let's see if we can get a birdie.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think you got in this one. So here we have another par 4, relatively short, lots of trouble left and right, which we'll get a chance to show you guys. We'll actually maybe do the point of view rolling up after you hit your shot here to give everybody a little bit of a different aspect. But tight window when you're coming down. I think with where the wind's at, you're blocked a little bit on each side. So as long as you keep it low, you're not going to have too much trouble. But I'll let you be the judge of that. You're the pro, not me.
Sounds good.
Oh, the chief again.
Yeah, got to go with the chief.
She's all the time. Not afraid. She just attacks.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah. Why not? What do you got to lose, right? Today, anyway.
Yeah. Not much.
We've got to try and make that birdie. Oh, it gets a bit tighter from this angle, doesn't it? It's got to be a little into off the left, so I'm going to tee it a bit lower. As you said, try and keep it a bit lower through here.
So what are you thinking to get the ball a bit lower? Like what's happening in your mind when you want to do that? Is it ball placement? Is it how you're swinging? What are you actually doing for the people at home?
For me, it's more I like to just tee it a bit lower. It's a fairly similar swing for me. A little bit further back in the stance and yeah, just lacks a feeling of kind of a punch shot, but obviously it's a driver, so it's not going to be a massive punch shot. But yeah, that's my feeling.
Yep.
Let's see how we go. Oh, the wind's got it.
Great strike.
That's the right idea.
Linked a little bit out to the right from the wind. It's going to be tough up and down here. Wait to see this green.
I'm up for a challenge.
What do you think of all these elevated greens?
I love them. Like, it's just so Melbourne courses for me. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely the one thing we're known for here at Woodlands is these elevated.
Most definitely, yeah.
So with a shot like this, pretty difficult. You're sitting in some sand here.
Yep.
You've got trees above you.
Yeah.
Bunkers to clear, elevated green that once we get up there that you guys are going to see just drops completely off. Tough track, tough hole. Would you normally in tournament play try and play it out here or still just have the crack? Because what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
I mean, I'd definitely probably still have a go. I mean, the pin's sort of front left. The fat part of the green seems to be back right. I mean, worst case, you sort of maybe roll off the back and hopefully have a little chip and putt to make par. So, I mean, it's just it's just a tough shot, like, you know. So, yeah, see how we go. Try and play it a little lower. It should be into the wind, so hopefully that can help me stop it a bit. But we'll see.
Oh my God. Did it stay?
Yeah. I'll take that.
Ridiculous.
I would definitely take that shot.
Give it up there.
Thank you.
Great shot. Tough green. Elevated from the sand. Blowing a gale. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the smile. She's actually pretty happy with that.
Yeah, most definitely. I think into the wind helped and pulled it up quite quickly, which was good.
The birdie we've been waiting for.
Yeah, this is it.
With the circle tee.
How would you read this putt? You gonna help me read it?
Putting pressure on back to basics here.
Yeah, that's it.
Putting is the best part of my game.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't break a whole lot.
No. If anything, I thought maybe like left edge.
I would say, yeah, I'd be going probably
Out, that far out, you reckon?
right like there. Sorry, the
Okay.
thing's bouncing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, perfect.
The little yellow leaf.
I was thinking that too. That's right on.
Here, we'll show everybody. Hold on. We get the little yellow leaf in there. That little guy. That's what we're going for.
All right.
It's always good to pick that spot, hey?
Yes, most definitely. I like to do that. Pick the spot a couple of feet out of the hole and try and roll it over that. I'm just going to go just inside it.
Oh, pace.
I actually went outside it, so that was not a good putt.
But that was the line.
Definitely. I think that was the line for sure.
Yeah. Another par.
That's it.
We're still on the hunt. You know what the best part is? No bogeys.
Exactly.
And we film this in real time.
Yeah.
How many people out there you think film this in real time nowadays?
Not many.
Big dog, par 5.
Yes. I like a par 5.
Love a good par 5.
Yeah.
Opportunities.
Exactly. That's right.
But like every hole here at Woodlands, tight.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Yes.
But you're a professional.
Trying to be anyway. We're going off the tips.
Off the tips, almost to the plates. It's pretty close.
Yeah, not quite.
These
Close
definitely
enough.
shouldn't be white, that's for sure.
I mean, I've got a bit of wind assist, so it should be good.
Winds behind you into today is possible. Will be a tough challenge. That second shot will be big decisions with the bunkers coming into play, but we'll talk about that when we get up there. First thing we need to do is just get off the tee.
Got to get one on the short stuff.
A little bit out to the right. Should be fine.
Should be all right.
It's down there, folks. Oh, look at that. Great shot.
Good angle into that green, I reckon.
Another long drive. But shots have been a little bit to the right today.
They have been leaking a little bit today.
The one thing that I've found when I've, played in pro-ams or with pros is once that happens, to an amateur would be like, oh, I just not getting it right. I'm getting super frustrated. The pros just kind of go with it. Is that what you start to feel when more holes are coming up of, hey, if it's just playing a little bit of the right, that's okay. That's just what's happening today.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know I can hit it where, pretty much sort of where I want it to most of the time. So you just stick to your processes. And I think that's what sort of makes the difference between amateurs and pros would be we know that we've got our process. So if you stick to it, it's going to work. It can't not work the whole day, surely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna be within range.
Yeah, just stick to what's happening and don't try to fix it out there. Really,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah, the worst thing you can try and do is start to try and change and fix things once you're out there.
So as you've progressed and this journey's happening for you, and I would imagine that all roads lead to the LPGA.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that your dream?
That is definitely the dream.
Is this dream going to happen?
Yeah.
I think it is.
I reckon it will.
What inspiration would you have for some of the young amateurs and athletes out there right now that are on a similar pathway and journey to yourself of just, continuing to work through that and believing in themselves and where they're going? What's that like for you?
Yeah, for me, it's more like the team around me is what makes a huge difference. If you have that support and encouragement and that belief from obviously your close friends and family, then it just helps you, keep ticking along. Obviously you got to have self-belief yourself. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, yeah, for me, it would just be make sure you got a tight, close team around you to help you get there.
Yeah. And it's ever so more important, right now in your career as that begins to progress too, because those people that are around you now and you keep that tight is the more that's going to help you progress and throughout your journey. As in anything in life, it's all about the people that you surround yourself with and the network that you have. How have you found that maybe transitioning from, high school age to, where you're at now to maybe not having a similar friend group or just really, probably being by yourself a lot out there a lot of the times?
Yeah, most definitely. The biggest person I talk to for me would be my mum. Where we have a super close relationship. So I think Hey, Mum. I think that that really helps. You know, she's just a big support. I have a great friend group at home that are always supporting me. Like, you know, if I have a local comp, they're always trying to sort of come out and
super cool
and be there and be a part of it. Like, they're not, you know, huge golfers, but you know, they just know that that's what I do. So they're always going to try and come out and support. And I mean, I've had obviously people that I thought would be a part of my team and be there for the, you know, the whole journey, and they haven't. So I mean, it's all learning, and yeah, you just got to get through it all.
And how good is that to learn that early on and go through those experiences, right? It just makes all the difference when you continue to grow up, of being able to have things like that come in and out of your life, let those things go. And it's a lot like just being out here, right? Yeah,
most definitely. And as you said, it's learning to accept that, okay, well, that's wasn't meant to be, even though you really wanted it to be. And yeah, it creates a good ground to work on.
All right, nice. Well, let's have the birdie opportunity.
Yeah.
We're still hunting.
I think we got a good angle into this green, so see how we go.
Bunkers up here, I think you're probably not even worried about those.
Nah, not the ones on the left. Nice. Maybe the green side ones might be different.
Now, there is a dip, a pretty significant dip, another elevated green. You can't see it from here for this hole. You got bunkers on the left. Out to the right, it does sweep out towards the bushes. The bunkers on the right are probably 20, 30 meters short of the green. Okay. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, because, you know, she's never played here before, so try and give you as much tips as I can
I'll take everything I can get. All right, let's have a look. We have 221, so could be a nice little hybrid down there. Hopefully he runs through that little dip. Plenty of wind assist here, so we'll see how we go.
I don't know what difference that's going to make today.
Just to show you.
That just blew about 20 feet.
Yeah, just to show you how hard it's going. We've obviously got a bit of crap above us here that we don't want to go into. So I'm going to try and play a bit more of a back foot, like cut, sort of, try and land it short of the green and hopefully rolls through that little dip. Cool. See how deep it is. Oh, I think
it. Oh, did it avoid it or in it?
No, I think we've gone
in it.
Yeah, bugger. Too much cut on it.
Too much cut, but we got some bunker tips coming up.
Yeah, how good. I do like bunkers.
Fairway bunker, probably, I don't know, what do you think, 60 out?
Yeah, maybe 50.
What are you thinking here?
It feels pretty soft underneath, so there's going to be a bit of sand. It's sitting quite nice, which is good. Always like to see a ball sitting up in the bunker.
Soft, but that's not going to be very deep. Just to let you know.
Yeah, perfect.
So you can still get a good firm shot out of it.
Yeah, it still seems firm, but just some lighter sand on the top. So I've got 54. I'm just going to play sort of like how I would play a long bunker shot type thing. So not really an open face, just more of like a normal pitch shot. I like to play these ones. So we'll see how we go. Oh, too much sand.
Can I get up? Oh, what a bounce.
We've got very lucky. We've got very lucky there.
There's no luck.
All skill.
What do you think of the rakes?
They're very heavy.
There's been lots of comments that there's some of the best rakes in the sandbelt.
Best rakes?
Oh, yeah, they would. Announcement. Rakes actually go into the middle of the bunkers here.
Oh, let's fix that up then.
Shout out to all the Woodlands members that'll be watching this.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're getting closer with the birdie putts.
You're right there.
Yeah.
After being in the bunker.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I'll take it. Didn't quite catch it, but...
Didn't quite catch it. Caught the bounce from this side of the hill across to the top of the green. That's some skill.
Skill and a bit of luck, you know.
Skill and a bit of luck.
You gotta have a bit of luck in golf.
The game of golf.
Yes.
Oh, huge opportunity here.
Yeah, this is big. This could be the one. Not much. Thinking like just inside left and actually have some pace this time. Yes.
Yes.
We're on. Look at that. Phew.
Par 3 and par 5 to finish. As we go through both of these holes, just want to talk a little bit about your swing, your game, amateurs. What are some of the things that we can just give people to take away for their own game, really, at the end of the day? Par 3s.
For par threes?
Top tip. When you're looking at them, what you're thinking, what you're picking.
Pretty much middle of the green for me. Like, especially courses here in Melbourne, they're always so like tricky. They have plenty of runoffs and bunkers and things like that. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you're in the middle of the green, you're going to have like a half decent birdie putt, right? So I like to just keep it very simple, not overthink it, and yeah.
Yeah, the ball's just, like you said, right? It's here where, the bunkers run into the greens and that sort of stuff. It's going to end up where it ends up.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're going to have a choice to make from there, but there's no need seeking it because it's probably not going to end up in that spot anyways. And like you said, Melbourne, you're running stuff up most of the time. Not at this hole with the bunkers in front. Yeah. Great hole, by the way.
It is. Looks very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, it's obviously a tucked front left pin. So I'm going just straight up the middle of the green. And yeah, if it's pin high, then it'll be a fairly close birdie putt. So
yeah, nice.
We'll see how we go.
See how we go.
That's miles. That's just air-mailed the green. Little downslope chip. At least we got it into the breeze to help us. That'll be good.
The wind just does not give up today.
No, it's been pretty chaotic all day. Plenty of green to work with, so that's not too bad.
So we'll get down here to check it out.
All right.
Down slope.
Yeah. It's not too bad. I think we'll be all right.
Back to an elevated green. Landing spot, running into the hill.
So I'm going to land on, but got plenty of green to work with, which is very helpful. Yeah, it's going to come out lower, obviously, because it's already on that downhill slope. So just trying to land it maybe, a few meters on the green and let it roll down.
And to get that lower positioning, face, feel.
For me, it's
rhythm.
still a real like standard shot. I'm going to lean a lot more into my left side to take the angle of the hill with me, so don't fight against it, rather than being sort of like back here against it, sort of more with it.
So shoulders playing with the hill.
Yes, correct. And like by doing that, it's going to come out lower anyway. So I like to just play just more of a standard chip shot. Oh, stop. That was just no good. That was shocking.
Tough shot, folks.
Yeah. But hit it a little thin, which doesn't help.
But that's all right. You're human.
That's it. Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us.
And that's where putting is like so important because, yeah, you gotta be putting well. A little tricky one here. Couple of different slopes. Let's see how
double break?
Yeah, a little bit. It actually didn't move too much. I watched it when it was coming past. It didn't move too much. I think it'd be a little left to right.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Birdie bogey.
Tap, tap. 18, par 5, definitely gettable. Huge hill in front of us. We'll show how much that drops down once we get up there.
It looks a little wider, which is nicer. Wider. Down breeze again.
Down breeze.
Generous with these par 5s.
Let it rip.
Oh, that's even further right. Oh, nah, we should be all good. Bit of a shorter shot in this time.
As you can see behind us, the huge hill that we came down to here. 18, absolutely beautiful clubhouse there at the incredible Woodlands Golf Club.
Is there any danger?
What do we got?
Any danger short of the pin?
No danger short.
Okay.
Anything's just going to roll up there. The only danger you have is just obviously what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Out to the left, you got the bunkers. Out to the right, it just kind of opens up and still another little bit of an elevated green.
Perfect.
Green will slope to the right once we get up there as well too.
Okay.
What do we have?
We have 185 meters. So I got a 5 iron. I'm going to try and land it short and just let it roll up. See how we go.
When you get with the longer clubs, sorry to
no, you're good.
You're in the middle of your routine here. Been a lot of chat and just seeing that with amateurs. Top tips you kind of give for your swing speed or feelings a lot of people think that when you get to the longer clubs, you need to swing harder. You need to do all these different things. Yeah. Does it really feel like you're pitching wedge when you're swinging?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Like, you don't want to change it up too much. So like you've got less degrees. So that's the idea of it. It's going to make you go further. You don't need to hit it harder. You've got the face that'll help you, that's what's making you hit it further, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just got to dial in your distances and then, just swing the same swing for all of them.
And a lie like this compared to, unfortunately, we're not on the fairway.
Yeah.
Does that change anything for you or?
A little bit, like there's a bit of grass sitting behind it, so it might jump a little bit, but I don't think it'll do too much out of this. If anything, I'm hoping it'll come out a bit more dead, so it gets a bit more run up to the pin.
All right, let's put it up next to the pin.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
That is going to run up there perfectly. Go.
That should be good.
It's
too long.
Too much.
Came out too dead. Got too much top spin.
But that's what we're talking about, right?
Correct, yeah. So it just depends on how much grass you get behind the ball, really.
We talked about the possibility of going long.
Yeah, and it came into play.
It came into play.
Yeah.
Move this fat tree here.
Yeah, move the branch out of the way. Clear some leaves.
Branch out of the way. Surprise, surprise, another elevated green.
All right. Try and get these
And
out.
Another tough lie.
Yeah, it's sitting like in someone's divot.
So with something like that, quite a bit of trouble here. What are you thinking with this?
Just more like, it's a tough one. It's kind of, you just got to stay aggressive with it and don't decel. It's sort of that downhill lie again. So yeah, just want to take the angle of the hill and try and get it to pop up a bit. So
the top tips for this would be, you're probably picking up the club pretty quick. You're coming down on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not like, I'm going to hit 60 just because there's a fair bit of green to work with. But yeah, potentially like I would definitely be tossing up between playing like a bump and run just because it's not sitting very well. So, but we've got 60, so we'll see how we go.
All right. Oh, great shot.
Go.
Go, little doggy.
It's not too bad out of a crappy lie.
No. Just gave her a little bit of a caddy tip here. It is going to swing.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it when you're on it.
Okay.
But it definitely does. Oh, she's got this. Go, 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 go.
Just not enough pace.
But swung more than you thought it would, hey?
Yeah, most definitely. I only had it as a 2 and it was definitely more than that.
Kelsey, great job. Well played today.
Thank you very much.
We're in the bunker for some hot tips. We just threw it in there. You actually didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't go in there. You wouldn't do that.
No, of course not.
Hard versus soft. What are the changes? What happens to the face? What happens to the swing? There's quite a bit of difference in the bunkers here at Woodlands. What are you thinking when you see something like this? For me, like
obviously getting in and digging your feet in will give you a fair idea of how much sand there is and how firm it'll be underneath. Like obviously I'm sitting on a little bit firmer spot than what I can put my feet into. So yeah, it's sort of, we're lucky to have a bit of a low lip here. So you can play it more like a normal pitch shot if it's a bit firmer. Obviously the more sand, like you need a bit more speed to help you get it out. But with these firmer ones, you can be a little bit more like gentle with them. So, and we got a nice low lip, so it's not too bad.
How wild is the sky?
Pardon?
How wild is that right now?
Oh yeah, it's very pretty. Pretty damn cool.
Wind, sun, we've had it all today, folks.
Typical Melbourne.
It's been a good day.
It has been a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, super fun. Kelsey Bennett, folks, look out. One of Australia's rising stars. Definitely will be on the LPGA tour. I'm calling it right now, folks. Hopefully, most likely, possibly the Athena winner as well. We'll see. We'll get some clips up. keep following Kelsey. She's been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out here, and look forward to following your game.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure today.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. If you like what Kelsey had to say in episodes like this, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us get more players like Kelsey, more coaches, and the more traction we get, the more people we can educate you guys with and tell more of their stories. So thank you. This is it for Coffee and Cars.
Thank you.